Hey everyone, and welcome to my craft room. My name's Julianne Richards and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in southern Tasmania. Just bear with me, I'm going to plug in my, just while some people jump on, I'm just going to plug in my external microphone just so that the volume is nice and loud. Just bear with me, hopefully it's not going to clatter too much. Here we go. Or show in the video at all. Anyway, we'll keep that out of the way. Okay, so hopefully that's not too distracting there. Lovely. And hopefully you can hear me nice and loud as well. As I say, welcome to my craft room. I thought today that I would just quickly make a video about this card here. I'm just going to make sure that that's actually in the center. Bear with me, I'm going to make sure my computer's caught up. So if you can hear me, please say so, nice and loud. Not my two sons in the background have decided that now's a good time to have a loud conversation. Oh, hang on, that sounds all right to me. I'll just turn this one down. Okay, so as I say, please put comments if you can't hear me nicely or if anything's not clear. That looks a little bit blurry on my computer. I don't know how that is for you guys, but anyway, yeah, so just comment, put in the comments if you can hear me and if that's a bit blurry for you. It does look a bit blurry on my computer. I might have to come back to it. I'll just give it a chance to focus, which it doesn't seem to want to. Come on, focus. So Deborah's saying you can hear me. Is it focusing for you, Deborah, as well? Might just be my computer. It's a little bit blurry sometimes. Anyhow, all right. We'll get going, and I'll just gauge it as we go. I'll just pop this little card together. This little card here is my bonus customer card for what month are we in? April, May. So I've just popped 3 or 4 of them in the post for some lovely customers today. So I thought I'd better get the video up because you'll receive your packs in the post fairly soon. So you need to know how to pop them together. All right, this is the card. It's based on the Pansy patch bundle, which is a new one that's coming available to customers on the 4th of May. So there we are. We have the stamp set, which has got multiple sort of stamps to create your pansy. I haven't actually used the stamp set yet, but I know a couple of my friends have, and they find it's really nice. It's a little bit fiddly, but you know, I'll get to practice with that as well. This customer card actually uses the dies to create these really cute little pansies here with the little buds as well. So that's the main part of the customer card. I also use elements of Nature's Thoughts dies, and that's the gold elements you can see there, plus the little frame. So that's one of my favourites from the current catalogue, which is carrying on to the next one. And I've also used the layered squares, and I'll show you in a moment how I've used those, and they're continuing, thankfully, in the next catalogue as well. So popping all those elements together, we get this really cute little card. And the good thing with this one is, as a customer card, you don't really need particular stamps. All you'll need is a sentiment that fits that sort of long, thin sentiment box there. Anyway, so let's get started with that. I am very concerned about that blurriness. It looks perfect on my phone, but it looks really blurry on my computer. I'm hoping it's just my computer. Anyway, I won't worry about it anymore. Okay, so let's get, this is the kit. These are the kits that you'll get in the mail. So there you go. All your bits and bobs there with your beautiful gold highlight there and the pieces for your pansy. So let's pop this one together, and then when you're a customer you can get this one, as I say, in the month of May. Otherwise, if you don't buy anything from me this month, at least you'll know how to pop this one together if you buy the dies. Okay, be very, very careful when you're getting your set out, your kit out, because there are lots of little pieces. So there's lots of little pieces of our pansies, and there's also a little bee. He's so cute. A little gold bee embellishment here. He's so cute. He's just really, really, really nice. So he comes with the Pansy bundle as well. He's new. But there's also a tiny little So Saffron centre in there. So be careful, there it is. So when you're tipping it out, don't drop it on the floor because it's very, very little. But you need that for the centre of your pansy. Okay, so what else you've got is you've got a card base, which is a basic white thick card base, just in white there. So it's 8 1/4 by 5 3/4, and it's scored in the middle. You've got a piece of, now this is beautiful. This is one of our new in colours. This is papaya. So it's just a lovely sort of very, very subtle sort of apricot or papaya, I suppose, colour. Don't worry, I've taken the bits out there. Just a bit of a lesson in saving cardstock. I've die cut all the pieces out of there just to save using another piece because it's new cardstock and I haven't got very much of it. But once you layer up, you won't even see. There you go. So that's a lesson in saving cardstock. So you've got that there. That layer of basic white has been through the painted textures dye embellishing folder. So you can see that's got some really nice sort of painted sort of effects there. I don't know if you can see in this light, but anyway, he's cool. Okay, so we've got that. You've also got a frame. Now this is where the Nature's Thoughts comes in. So basically a frame that I cut for you from the dies of the Nature's Thoughts. I'll just show you the one here. It's got a lovely little, just a little, stitched edge. It's just like a really light sort of random stitched edge around it. So it's really, really lovely. So I've just cut that out of basic white cardstock. And then from the centre of that, I've picked a square and I've just cut, using the die machine again, using my cut and emboss, I've cut out the centre of the rectangle with the die, the square die. So first there and then moved it down and did a second one there. So it's a little bit fiddly, but it really gave me the frame that I wanted. You could use a stitched rectangle die, but then you're going to get the stitching on the inside and the outside, and I didn't really want that. I wanted this really cute fine stitching from the Nature's Thoughts. Okay, so that's what you've got there. I'll just pop these away. Okay, and then you've got, from the Nature's Thoughts, you've got this really nice gold little highlight strip there, just in some gold foil, and the various bits and bobs of our pansy. So what I might do, first of all, just so I don't lose bits, is we'll assemble this pansy and we'll get our first look at how that actually looks in the flesh. I'm just going to check my comments, just bear with me for a second. Okay, so there's a few people on. Thanks for joining, guys. I'm sort of I'm not looking at my usual iPad. I've actually got my laptop next to me, so it's a bit trickier to see the comments. But I can see that Glenda and Deborah, hi Deborah, are all on, and a few others. So just pop on and say hi when you're on. Nice to see who we've got on. Okay, so let's put together our pansy. So it's got various bits, the pansy, and I'm using this lovely papaya colour with the contrast. The darker one is Cajun Craze. So you just pick a couple of colours that you like together, or check what Google some pansies and see what colours you can find actually happen in nature, and you can usually find a Stampin' Up colour that's pretty close. Okay, so we can pop this together just so I don't lose all the little bits and bobs. So I'm just going to pop some glue on the back of this main part here, and I'm going to pop our little sort of petals behind there. So you know how pansy often looks like a little, I don't know, what's it look like, a little face looking at you. So, and that's what we're building up here with our dies. So it's a nice size flower. That's sort of, it's a nice sort of focal point for a card because it's nice and large. So just try and get those central and as symmetrical as you can. You don't have to go too mad. So just gluing them at the back there, in behind. So we've got the first start there. And we've got this little piece here, which is sort of like a highlight piece, and it fits perfectly on the front there. So you just need a few dabs of glue. Don't go too mad. So as I say, this is the Pansy dies, and they're available to customers from the 4th of May. And if you absolutely love it and can't wait till the 4th of May, you can get it earlier if you join my team. Just take my glasses off. I can't see properly with my glasses on. So you just line up the little bumps and lumps and bumps of the highlight die with the main die underneath, and just pop it there. And there you can see we're building up a cute little pansy. Oh, he's trying to escape. A cute little pansy already. He's looking good. Okay, so we've got this other little face bit. I suppose it's making it look more and more like a face. Just this little highlight piece, which I've also cut in the papaya in the new colour. And that fits just on the front there. So you can swap out the colours. You can swap in different colours. You can make those beautiful, like lots of pansies in that beautiful sort of mauve colour. I've made a few of those. Haven't got them to show you at the moment, but they are building up to a lovely, lovely little flower there. Okay, so what else have we got with the pansy? Oh, the centre. The centre that I warned you was very, very little. So there it is. It's tiny. It's like a tiny little teardrop. So that's just going to pop just straight in the centre there. You might get something to pick it up with. Okay, so I think that is basically the main pansy done. So this little centre is just in So Saffron. So it just fits just there. Okay, so that's our little main pansy bloom all assembled. So let's do these little buds. They've got enough to make 2 little buds. There was a bit of a scary story about this when I went to put these kits together last night. I couldn't find one of the dies. It was this die. I'd lost it. I couldn't find it anywhere. I scrambled around. I cleaned up the craft room, which was like quite a feat because it was a bit messy. I cleaned up, I swept all the little bits and bobs off the floor. Oh, I was panicking because I'm thinking, oh, if I've lost just one die out of a whole set, it just makes the whole set, worthless almost. And then I went through everywhere, and then I went through my garbage bin. This is my garbage bin where I just put my scraps in. And sure enough, right at the bottom of the garbage bin there was my die. I've never been so relieved to see something in my whole entire life. Well, that might be a bit of an extension, but you know what I mean. I was quite relieved to see it. So this little pansy's got a couple of layers. So you've got the lighter one, which is going to be the inside or the back layer. I'll just pop a little bit of glue on the bottom of that. Then bring in this next layer here, which is sort of like the outer leaves, just like that. And then we're going to bring in this little stalk or stem, and it's got some sort of leaves that sort of gently sort of surround the rest of them. So there we are. So we have a cute little pansy bud as well, just like that. Okay, so let's do that with the other one. So it's quite a bit of assembling here, as you can see. All comes together quite lovely though. And there's our outer leaves and our little stalk. Oh, he's stuck. Oh, be careful there. To be careful, I've just moved it all. And there. I might just leave that one till it dries. I've put a little bit of extra glue, probably a little bit more than was needed. So as well as that, you should have 4 leaves. And these are the new Evening Evergreen. So it's a beautiful dark. It's even darker than shaded spruce. It's like a really dark green. So I can tell that's going to get a bit of a run at Christmas time for pine trees and things. So I've got 2 leaves, 2 large ones and 2 small ones. And we're going to pop those on our poppy. So what we might do is we'll assemble our card first, and then we can pop our leaves and our little buds where we want them. So bring the rest of your pieces of your card back in and layer up. So first of all, we have our pale papaya onto our card base, and then our embossed white with our beautiful painted textures, just with some glue around the edge. So to grab this little card kit as a free gift, all you have to do is place an order online during what's left of April and May, and I will pop the card kit in the post for you as a free gift. So you'll get this little card to pop together yourself, which it's quite easy once all the bits are done. So there we've got our layers done there. If you want a link to my online store, please just ask for it in the link in the comments, and I'll pop it through to you as well. So then we're going to bring in our little frame that we've made with Nature's Thoughts. And as I say, everything that I use in this card is from, well, it will be in the future, in the upcoming catalogue. Nature's Thoughts is in the current catalogue, so you can buy that now if you like that one. But the poppies will start from the 4th of May. Okay, so we're going to pop our little frame just onto our card front here. Now, if that being off centre worries you at all, I'm quite happy for you to straighten that up. It initially did worry me because I like everything straight, but sometimes you have to go out of your comfort zone. Sometimes out of your comfort zone to try something new. So we've got our little frame on there. Now, I suggest if you've got this one at home and you've got a say a blending brush and some maybe So Saffron ink or something like that, you might like to just put some So Saffron in the background there, just around the back of that frame. I thought it would just add a little bit of colour. I won't do it today because obviously this card kit's for, just so you can pop it together at home. But if you wanted to do that, I think it would make that background look a little bit more of a highlight, just give it a bit of colour. So I'll leave that one to you guys to decide whether you want to do that. So I'm going to bring in our little pansy now. I wasn't quite happy with my positioning on my original card. I think it should have come up a tiny touch more. So I'm going to put a little bit higher on this one. I'm going to pop that there. Then I'm going to bring in our leaves and our little buds. What's Glenda saying? Looks a bit fiddly. Yeah, they are a little bit fiddly, Glenda, but I think, as you say, they will be worth the effort once you get there. But as I say, the dies are quite small, so be careful that you don't lose them in your craft room, or you will have to clean out your craft room, which I don't do very often. My ladies that come to my classes can attest to the fact that my craft room floor is usually looks like there's been a snowstorm in here, with dimensional backings usually, or just bits of paper. So I'm going to bring that one a little bit higher than my original, so it's entirely up to you. I can see on the original it's quite low, but I think it needs to be a tiny bit higher, and that's what I'm going to do on this one. So I might glue that down. Now I'm happy with the position. I'm just going to put some glue in the middle because I want to put the leaves around the edge. So I'll bring that up to about there. So that's probably just in the lower half of the card. So not much higher than that, just in the bottom half onto the left-hand side. Then I'm going to bring in my leaves. Did I just see Sally? Hello Sally, thanks for joining us. going to bring these leaves in. I've just popped a little bit of glue on the back of them, and I'm going to just slide them in under my poppy. I'll pop the glue on the wrong side of that one, and then the little one just nestling underneath, and then the other big one, pop that in there. As you can see, my symmetry usually wins out in the end, and they end up being the same on both sides, but that's just me. Okay, so there we are. We've got our little leaves on. How do you like that so far? Is that really, I think that's quite pretty. I love that pansy. I knew I would as soon as I saw it. Okay, so we'll bring in our two little buds. So I want them to sort of form almost like a frame up the left hand side, or at least a high sort of a feature up this left hand side. So I'm going to have to trim one stalk off a little bit because I want them to be at different heights. So just a little bit like that, with that trimmed off, of course. I'm going to pop a little glue on the back of that, just a touch on the stalk, not a lot, because it's going to flip in under there or tuck in under there. So we'll do that one there. And I'm going to trim the little tail of this guy here, just a little bit, and a glue on him. There we are. Nope, stuck to my finger. Too much glue. There we are. Oh. Come on, little guy. Stay down. There we are. Okay, so we've got our two little buds in there as well. It's really nice. I love those colours. Okay, so for our sentiment box, we've got a tiny strip of the pale papaya and a larger strip of our basic white. So the papaya is smaller, narrower than our basic white, but slightly longer. So I'm just going to use it as just a half background, just a half matte behind there. I'm going to stamp our sentiment first. Now the set itself has a lovely long sentiment here that says a little hello from me to you. But of course the idea of these cards is that you can use your own sentiments. So whatever sentiment you've got that you like for any event that you've got coming up is fine. Or even you could use a different sentiment box if you have one that won't fit. Quite happy for you to swap out. Of course, swap out what you want. Okay, so I'm just lining that up as best I can with the grid on my grid paper, just to make sure it's straight. Just with some black ink. And I'll test that first to make sure I have got it on straight. That's not too bad. Pop that out of the way. I don't want ink accidents. So we'll bring in our little white sentiment box. I'm just going to pop that straight on the centre there. There you go. A little hello from me to you. I'll pop the lid on my ink. Okay, so I'm going to pop that little, as I said, the slightly longer papaya matte rectangle. Just going to pop behind. Just a little bit of glue on there. Excuse me, I've got an itchy nose. And then, and I'm moving things around. And I'm just going to pop that. Just it sort of just goes like three sides. Just like that. I'll show you now that it's there. Make sure it's straight. There we go. So you see it just sort of sneaks behind. I hope you can see that. I'll bring it a little bit closer. Yeah. So it's just behind, like half behind there. Okay, so then I'm going to bring in some dimensionals. I want big dimensionals. If I can find them. These will do. These were funny, these dimensionals. The paper was cut all the way through, so it was very hard to... It's very hard to bring them off. It must have been a bit of fault in the manufacturer, I think. And then I'm going to pop these on the back. Okay. And then I'm going to position, just before I put this on the card, I'm going to position my little gold sort of feature just where I want it, and it sort of will partly stick, hopefully partly stick to the dimensionals. Oh, no, I haven't got them high enough. I might just glue it. I was going to stick them to the dimensionals and use them, but I might just glue it. There we are. Just so it sort of half peaks. Oh dear. Half peeks out from underneath. I shouldn't have taken the top off my dimensional, should I? I'm making this look harder than it is. So I just want it to just, again, peek out from underneath the sentiment box. There we are. Just make sure that glue takes. There we are. Okay, just to be a bit gentle there. So you see, that's what I'm going. That's the look I'm after there, just with the little gold sort of feature just poking out from underneath the sentiment box. Then I can bring back our card and I can pop that just where I want it. So I don't want to cover over too much of our beautiful pansy, but I want it sort of towards the bottom. So where you want, try and keep it straight. And there we are. Okay, yeah, I'm much happier with the positioning of that. I've got a little bit of glue. There's my mono. I mucked around with that too long now, and I've got some glue smudges on it. Just let me get those off. My little mono rubber. Okay. Here we are. So how's that? That's still a little bit of glue there, but I'll get that off in a minute when we're finished. Okay, so that's most of our card done. We've got our little sentiment there on some dimensionals. Now we'll pop our little bee on, which I think is my favourite part of the card. My little gold bee. Now you could use a glue dot, but because he's got like a flat little bottom, I'm going to actually just put a dab of glue there where I want him. It's just a little dab of glue on the card. And then pop our bee down. If I didn't have glue on my fingers, it would work a lot better. Just pop our little bee there. And that glue will stick him. No worries at all. She says as he sticks to her fingers again. There you go. So there's our card. So it's finished there. That one there. It's turned out really nicely, except for the glue splodges. Anyway, so hopefully you won't have as many glue splodges as me, but there's our card. So this is our customer card for May, customer bonus card. So as I say, if you place an order with me through the between now and the end of May, let's put it that way, I'll pop that little card kit in the mail for you as a thank you, and you'll be able to make that one up. As I say, the dies for the pansy will be available to customers from the 4th of May, and the Nature's Thoughts, which is the little gold, and the frame is available at the moment and will be in the next catalogue as well. But anyway, hopefully you enjoy that one. As I say, get your order in and that little card kit can be yours. But anyway, thanks for joining me, everyone. It's about time I go and cook my dinner for my horde of children. which all still live at home and seem to refuse to leave. But anyway, that's fine. It's nice to have them, I suppose. But anyway, have a great evening, and I will see you all next time. Bye.